Alright, so for our next little challenge, I'd like to throw this model at you. I'd like you to take a look, and I'd like you to set it up in engineering format, following the standards that we've been using up to this point. So, can you visualize what you think the front view looks like? Can you identify the shape that would make up your side view? And how about the shapes that make up your top view? Right, so if you're able to do that, great. Let's go hop into it. Okay, so I got a new sheet of paper. And I folded it halfway. And since I have my light blue pencil, I'm going to use that to set up my starting bracket and my projection lines. Looked to me like the shape more or less resembled an upside down or a U shape, right? Kind of like a U shape, kind of square, but definitely the letter U, just kind of blocky. Right, so I think by now you know the rule. The rule is project the corners up to make the top view. That saves us some work for measuring width for the top. Project the corners to the side to make the side view. And you probably remember what shape there was in the side view. And you probably remember what shape we were looking at in the top view, or shapes. Right, so let's go check, let's go verify this is what we want. Front view looks like that blocky U shape. We'll spin it down toward you, rotate it down toward you, look at the top. Yep, 1, 2, and 3 rectangles. And then what do we see in the right side view? If we look directly at the right side, and you're probably saying, well, I see a square. And you know, for the most part, you're right. There is a problem with this drawing though. And the problem is, I can tell from the front view that there's this notch cut through the block. And I can even see in the top view, this is a little canyon that that notch makes. Goes from front to back. What I'm not seeing though is any evidence that there's any notch at all in the side view. And of course that's because you can't see through objects, right? You can't see through objects. That's an opaque object, and yeah, that canyon, that little cutout is back there, but we can't see it because, well, again, we don't see through objects. But what if that wasn't true? What if we could see through objects? What would you see? See, if you had the power to look through objects, here's what you would see. What on earth is that thing? Well, it's a corner, it's an edge. And what's making that edge? Well, the thing making that edge is the intersection, right? It's this flat plane here, intersecting that flat plane there. It's like a wall and a floor, and where they meet, there's a corner. And that's what we're seeing when we go into this side view, and we notice that there is an edge or a line there. So now, here's the deal. Remember the rule I told you about how do we make multi-view drawings? The rule was that every corner projects into every view. These two corners projected up. 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 How about to the side? 1, 2, 3, 4 corners project to the right. 1, 2 corners project to the right. Are you seeing the thing that didn't project? It's that corner. It's actually both of them, right? So we're going to have to project that corner to the right. Now, here's the problem. If I draw a solid line right here, well, that means that this is not a flat plane. It means that, like here, one of these is higher and one of these is lower. Or it might mean that this plane bends at an angle. Okay, but that's not true. This is a flat plane. This is flat, right? There's no step or bend here. So we're going to have to do something that might seem kind of odd, but it is the standard for technical drawings. And it's when you have to show the edge of something you cannot see normally, you will draw it with a special kind of line. And that line is called a hidden line. And by hidden doesn't mean that the thing is invisible. I can see the corner if I pick the model up, right? What it means is it's not normally seen. That edge is not normally visible because it is hidden by the right side. Okay, if we take a look at the model again, you see what I'm talking about. We don't see that inside corner because the right side here is opaque and covers it. Okay, but we will have to represent it. So the way we represent it is by drawing it with this new kind of line, this special line called a hidden line. And by turning on my X-ray vision in SketchUp, I can see why it's got that particular corner there. Okay. Engineering drawing, remember, the deal is you have to represent everything you see at proper size and proper shape. Well, the hidden line allows you to do that. Okay, so I can draw the front, and I see the notch, and I look in the top, and I can see the notch. And now, with the side view, I also see this corner where that notch is, and I see it goes all the way through from the front to the back. Okay, so in the last video, we talked about object lines. That was something new. Maybe it is just a new term. So we're going to give this one a name too. We're going to call this hidden line. And when someone says hidden line, you know what they're talking about. Talking about a line that shows a vertex or an edge that normally you would not see because it's behind something. All right, very good. For your next trick, I would like you to set this object up using multi-view drawing with orthogonal or orthographic projection, just like we've been doing, and try to keep in mind that there might be some hidden lines involved in this, okay? So try to visualize what would you see from the front. Right, our pink color. What do we see from the top? Can you visualize the shape of the top and the shape of the side? And then can you imagine that anything might be missing from that top or side view as you project every corner from the front into both the top and the right side? Okay, so we've had a chance to look at this and set up our drawing, and then we'll take a look at my drawing. And what do you think? Looks pretty good? Huh? You like? Does yours look like this? Okay, well, if it does, that's too bad because it's wrong. Well, it's mostly right, but it's missing some stuff, right? What's it missing? Well, this corner here never got projected up. And this corner here never got projected up. And these two corners here never got projected over into the side view. Now, you're not going to see edges in the top and the side simply because the object is opaque. Right, looking at the top, it looks like a flat green plane. And looking at the side, looks like a flat blue plane. But if we go back to the top and we turn on our amazing X-ray powers, hey, there's an edge there, and there's an edge there. And of course, we'll see the same thing when we look at the side, and those edges are being created by the corner up here at the top of our little notch. Okay, so make sure, as you have projected all the corners into all the views, that you don't forget the hidden lines. Now, hidden lines are going to be short dashes with very small spaces in between them. And right now, while we're just sketching, we won't worry too much about the size of them or the gap. Right? It's more important to understand the concept of what they do and how they work. Okay, so that should be our finished drawing of our upside down square shaped U with hidden lines in the top and hidden lines in the side.